Hi guys, today we are moving on to 12.3. We are going to talk about dot plots and frequency tables. So a dot plot is a number line with marks that show the frequency of data. So you guys have seen something very similar to this before. In 4th grade you were introduced to line plots. It's the same concept. And frequency is the number of times a data value occurs. So let's look at unlocking the problem. Hannah is training for a walkathon. The table shows the number of miles she walks each day. She has 1 day left in her training. How many miles is she most likely to walk on the last day? So this question asks right here, what do we need to find? I'm going to highlight it. What are we looking for, boys and girls? Well, we're looking for how many miles most likely to walk on the last day. And the way we're going to find that is we're going to create a dot plot, and the number that's most common will be the number she's probably going to walk on the last day. So we are going to draw a number line appropriate to scale, and what that means is you would look at your data, and all of my data is between 0 and 10. So that's what my number line would look like. Now if all of your data was between 0 and 50, you would need to make a number line between 0 and 50. Okay? So draw a number line with an appropriate scale. So ours is going to be from 0 to 10. And then for each piece of data, plot a dot above the number that corresponds to the number of miles Hannah walked. Complete the dot plot by making the correct number of dots above the numbers 5 through 10. The number of miles Hannah walked most often. So let's do the dot plot first. So they did 0 through 4 for us. So let's do 5. So I'm going to look. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 days she walked. So 5 days she walked 5 miles. Okay, 6. So I have 1 day she walked 6 miles. 7, I don't see any 7, so I would just leave that blank. I don't see any 8, so I would leave that blank as well. 9, so on 2 days she walked 9 miles. Okay? Now boys and girls, what I want you to do is I want you to count up how many times the observation was made. So she had 20 observations made. You need to make sure that you have 20 dots, because if you do not have 20 dots, you did not get all your data down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I have 20 dots, so that means all my data is accounted for. Okay? The number of miles Hannah walked most often is the value with the tallest stack of dots. And the tallest stack of dots is 5 miles. So what that is saying is most likely on this next day, she will probably walk 5 miles because it's the most common. Okay? So that is, here's your data, and here's your dot plot. Okay? So pretty easy, right? In my head, you're all saying, right. So let's move on to frequency table and relative frequency table. Boys and girls, I think something important to note from here on out for chapters 12 and 13, you will be able to use calculators. So if you have calculators at home, feel free to utilize them. If you do not, I know there are several online calculators that you can access if you have internet, which you all do if you're watching this video. Or your phone, yeah, your phone has it too. Okay, example 1. Jill kept a record for her workout times. How many of Jill's workouts lasted exactly 90 minutes? So here's my data. I'm going to make a frequency table. And what is a frequency table? It's the number of times data occurs for each value. So what I do is I have my data. I'm going to list how many times it happened. So they've already counted 30 minutes for me, and they said 30 happened 7 times. Okay, so I'm going to count 60. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times I counted. And then 120 minutes, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So again, I'm gonna wanna double check that I have all of my data in my frequency table, okay? So 4 times 5, 6, 7. So I have 28 observations, so my frequency should match 28. So 7 plus 11 is 18, plus 4 plus 6 is 10, so 18 plus 10 is 28. I have accounted for all my data, okay? And the question was, how many of Jill's workouts lasted exactly 90 minutes? 4, okay? And that's your frequency table, is just counting up how many times something occurs, okay? Now we are gonna look at relative frequency. And relative frequency shows the percent it will occur. So we have another set of data. We have Ricardo's lap swimming. So there are 20 observations, and each observation shows how many laps he swam in that day. So the important question that we want to find out is what percent of the days did Ricardo swim 18 or more laps? Okay, so first I'm going to do a frequency table. The number of laps from 3 to 7, they've counted as 4. The number of laps from 8 to 12, they've counted as 6. 13 to 17, they've counted as 7. And 18 to 22, they've said occurred 3 times. So this half right here is just a frequency table, okay? Then the relative frequency is the percent it occurs. So if you recall from chapter 5, percent is part over whole. So how many total observations did we have? Well, we had 20 total observations. And the frequency of 3 to 7 was 4 out of 20. And so you need to find the percent. To find the percent, you either divide it, and 4 divided by 20 would be 2/10. Then you times it by 100 to get 20%. You could also get 20 to 100. How do you get 20 to 100? Well, you times it by 5. So you would also times 4 by 5, getting 20 over 100, or 20%, okay? So you would do that with each one of these. So 7, they did 6 for us. So 7 over 20, when you divide that out, or multiply it by 5, you would get 35 over 100, or 35%, okay? And then you would take 3, because that's how many observations, divide that by 20, and you would get 15%. Now, to make sure you did all this right, what percentage should our relative frequency add up to? Well, it should add up to 100. So I have 20 plus 30 is 50, 50 plus 35 is 85, and 85 plus 15 is 100. So it looks like that was correct. So Ricardo swam 18 or more laps 15% of the days.